Good morning, and thank you for coming today. My name is Sheriff Errol Toulon Jr., and I would like to thank Silo for providing an ALS interpreter for this event this morning. And to our friends and dear partners, Supervisor Angie Carpenter and Councilman James O'Connor, thank you very much for being here today. And lastly, to the members of the community who have joined us here today from the Town of Islip Disability Advisory Board, thank you for being here with us. Suffolk County has approximately 40,000 residents that have some sort of hearing impairment. And our constituents have informed us that they have sometimes difficulty with that small minority that may engage with the law enforcement community. And so today, in our commitment, the Sheriff's Office commitment to have inclusion in our community, we've created a palm card which our deputy sheriffs will now be able to use in our community. And if you look at the card, I don't know if you can get closer, but you know, if the deputy is requiring a driver's license or registration, their car insurance, if they want to be informed if they're carrying a firearm or a concealed weapon or any other weapon, they can communicate with the motorist. More importantly, the deputy can then communicate regarding the various type of violations as to why they may have been pulled over. And also, the motorist or constituent can advise the deputy if they need help. If they just ran out of gas, they need a tow truck, they're lost, they're trying to get to a hospital, or even if they need an ambulance. It is extremely important during these times, especially for the Sheriff's Office, that we can start to address different issues that are specific to the community and our residents and what they're facing every single day. These cards will not only be a lifeline to people who are deaf, suffer with a hearing impairment, or even a hearing aid that might have fallen out. And we're hoping with these cards, our fellow first responders, whether they're EMTs or firefighters, can develop their own cards that can address constituent needs when they're out there working to protect and serve our community. And more importantly, since we are the first in Suffolk County to have these type of cards, that our other law enforcement partners will adopt them so that they can at least have some sort of communication with our deaf community. With that, I thank you all very much, and I'd like to turn over the podium to Supervisor Angie Carpenter.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheriff Toulon. And as always, in addition to being the Sheriff of Suffolk County, he has been a great ambassador for our community in so many programs, outreach to the community of Suffolk County. And we've partnered with the Sheriff on other initiatives here in the town of Islip, and this certainly is one that we're really so excited about and very proud of. And I have to thank our Councilman Jim O'Connor, who brought this to our attention through the auspices of our Disability Advisory Board. You know, we have many advisory boards in the town of Islip, and these boards are a mechanism for addressing specific issues and specific needs, and certainly our Disability Advisory Board stands at the ready. And Jim O'Connor, who is our chair, has done a really incredible job. You're going to be hearing from him in a moment, and I just want to again thank the sheriff for being so very proactive on so many issues for the residents of not only the town of Islip, but certainly the great county of Suffolk. So with that, I'd like to introduce our councilman, Jim O'Connor, chair of our Disability Advisory Board. Jim?
Thank you, Supervisor Carpenter, for all of your support for what we're trying to do in the town of Islip and the message that we're spreading throughout Suffolk County. Your leadership is what makes it all happen. So thank you so much. My name is Jim O'Connor. I'm a councilman here in the town of Islip, and I am chair of Islip's Disability Advisory Board. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today for this really kind of first effort for what we hope will be something that will really take root and spread in Suffolk County, which is a better way for us to be able to communicate with our deaf community. As the sheriff mentioned, there are over 40,000 residents in Suffolk County with a hearing impairment, and they're deaf. And that's why this is such a great day, because we're reaching out to them to try and make the effort that we can communicate better. I want to sincerely thank Sheriff Toulon and his team for including me in today's event. You know, it got started with an idea, but they really ran with this, and they did such a great job. So thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir.
I have a quick story. As elected officials, sometimes we need to be challenged. And Nancy O'Donnell, who was a former member of our Disability Advisory Board, challenged me. And she said, you know, you think you know about disabilities, and I'll tell you in a minute why I think a little bit about that, but I didn't know a lot about the deaf community. And she said, if you really want to learn more about them, why don't you go and talk to them and speak to them and see what it is they need. So thank you, Nancy, for challenging me. We need to be challenged, and that brings us a better result. So Nancy introduced me and my assistant Krupa to Pastor James Diaz and his wife, Maureen. Thank you for being here, Pastor and Maureen, for showing up. And they shared with us one of the frustrations that their community has, in that when they interact with law enforcement, it's sometimes intimidating and they can't always communicate in the best way. And that was the genesis for this idea. We introduced it to the Sheriff's Office, and they really took it and ran, and we're so grateful for that. I'd like to thank the other members of our Disability Advisory Board that are here today, Lisa Gaddy from Palomine, and Denise Sheridan, who taught the hearing impaired in BOCES for many years. My son is 26, and he is completely nonverbal. He's autistic. And so I know the frustration of having an inability to communicate in difficult situations. And so while I thought I knew from my perspective and the disability that my family deals with, I've learned much more in dealing with the deaf community and Pastor Diaz and his wife. So I'm really excited that we were able to do this today. I really want to thank the sheriff and his team, and of course the supervisor, for supporting it. And it's one step in the right direction, and hopefully it can grow. Thank you. Oh, and I'd like to introduce, this time, from Silo, Lori Delgado, who's their Chief Community Engagement Officer.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Lori Delgado. I am from Suffolk Independent Living Organization, Silo. We provide services for people with all disabilities. I am the Chief Community Engagement Officer. I am here with my colleague Jill Couillard, who is the Chief Community Engagement Officer also. I would like to thank Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter. I would like to thank Councilman James O'Connor. And I would also like to thank Suffolk County Sheriff Toulon for giving us the opportunity to be here today in support of the Sheriff's Office to provide their personnel with the tools that will aid officers in communicating with the hearing impaired and deaf community. We from the disability community, thank you, Sheriff Toulon. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you.